The state of California needs billions and billions and billions of dollars in federal aid to fix the fact that they have burned down vast, immense areas and often blamed on incompetence. Now, we don't know that for sure, folks. That's our assessment, our opinion, and it looks very likely. Well, you know what else is likely? That California could destroy their hopes and dreams of getting a hold of that money because they're spending cash through the politicians on attacking President Trump. Hello, folks. Welcome back. We're here to tell you that Hollywood is in trouble and entertainment may be leaving California, going to the state of Georgia and to other places as they are sick and tired, perhaps even the studios, even the execs, of the insanity that the California politicians are engaged in. What is it lately? Well, they need a few months to convince FEMA and Trump to dump huge amounts of money into California to fix the fact that there are miles and miles and miles. We're talking about 40 to 50 square miles of devastation, some of the most pristine and expensive properties on the planet. And instead of playing nice long enough to get that money back into California and to get things going again, they're blowing it all by spending millions of dollars to attack Trump. It is devastatingly dumb, and we'll explain what's going on with our panel. Click the like button. Here we go. All right, folks, this one's out of Breitbart. They are not handling the situation in California the way that would possibly help California. Who would have thunk it? Take a look at this. It's California Democrats passed $50 million to fight President Trump, defend illegal alien criminals, while at the same time, they're seeking billions of dollars in fire aid. Now, let's just say that you burned down an area of Los Angeles, which is, by the way, the throne of the entertainment empire, the industry itself. Let's say that you just burned down an area that is larger than all of Manhattan, larger than all of Walt Disney World, larger than the entire city of Paris, burned to the ground. And instead of being like, you know what, we're going to play nice with the current administration because we'd like to get as much money into our state as possible, instead, your legislators of California, they all got together and decided that they were going to spend $50 million to fight the orange man who holds the keys to the money that needs to flow into the state to repair it. This is a level of dumb you can't even comprehend. It's by Joel B. Pollack. It says California Democrats passed $50 million in spending Monday to fight President El Trumpo, his administration, and its policies, while also seeking billions of dollars in federal aid to clean up and rebuild after devastating wildfires. Last week, as Breitbart News reported, California Democrats appeared to get cold feet, delaying a vote in the Senate Assembly after the $50 million in two separate bills passed the state Senate. But they took up the bills again. This is from the San Francisco Chronicle. California lawmakers approved two bills setting aside $50 million for lawsuits and legal aid services ahead of anticipated battles with the Trump administration. One of the bills passed Monday will send an additional $25 million to the California Department of Justice, headed by Attorney General Rob Bonta, to cover legal expenses and lawsuits to mitigate the impacts of actions taken by the federal government, the bill says. Lawmakers clarified that while the bill would authorize up to $25 million to the department, it would only be used if necessitated by litigation. Because I know that when you give millions of dollars to lawyers and say, only spend it if you need to, they never, ever do. They always just set it to the side and say, well, I don't feel like we're not going to fight anything today because, well, we want to be careful and cautious with all this money, all this huge money. Democrats rejected Republican proposed amendments to prevent any of the money from being used to defend criminal illegal aliens. Governor Gavin Newsom has signed a bill providing $2.5 billion in state aid for the wildfires, but the state is also seeking federal aid that could amount to hundreds of billions of dollars while fighting Trump. Newsom has yet to sign the $50 million bill, but has already agreed on the spending in a deal with legislators. Lorena, at a time when Los Angeles needs help more than they ever have, they're going to fight against Donald Trump. That's what matters to them. And I think this is actually a big enough deal that it could sink Hollywood. I think that California is on the brink of battling in a way they simply do not need to. They are on the ropes and they're still acting like dopes. I think that if this goes south and they don't get the kind of aid that they need because of this kind of stupidity, I think you're going to watch studios run away to places like, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll go to Canada, maybe they'll get tariffed when they go there. But maybe Atlanta becomes the new destination for all of the entertainment across the nation. Maybe Georgia will be the beneficiary here as California loses bigly. What say you, Lorena?
Well, it's definitely not going well for them. And as someone who's lived in California, who is an LA refugee, that whole LA, for some reason, just loves to author its own destruction. And there's already the rest of the country. It's like, we've got our own issues going on. You've already told us over and over again how much you don't like us, how much we're ists and phobes, or, or whatever. And we've also seen how, while North Carolina and the destruction there was pretty much ignored by Hollywood, but no, all of a sudden you have wildfires in your area, wildfires that some of them, mostly due to a lack of prevention, some that, could have been allegedly set by a firebug. You're so focused on that now. And you want to hold telethons and you want to do, all of this stuff. It's literally going to be so bad if this happens that, like you're saying, Pro, they're going to look to film somewhere else. I mean, how can you film when your studios and your backlots and everything are just going to pot, or people can't, or how would I say it? Like how much that you're paying people, which is not that much. And with California, it's a high cost of low living. How sustainable is that going to be? What about other, production companies that are like, hey, it's too expensive for us to actually do business here in, LA. Why don't we move someplace like out in the middle of nowhere in Texas and just have internet and connect with whoever it is that we need to connect to? It's not going to bode well for California, and they just do not get it. They keep authoring their own destruction.
Well, take a look at this out of KTLA, and I've been pulling these up for folks to look at. Just the coverage of this. At the same time they're fighting Trump, they also don't want the water. At least that's what the legacy media is trying to say. It says alarming and scary. Trump's California water decision prompt flood fears. Like, come on. The Army Corps of Engineers released the water so that California can have water again. And they're scared.
KTLA, I'm not surprised.
Scared of flooding. Do you not think the Army Corps of Engineers would have said, we're going to release enough that it doesn't flood. We're not going to release so much that it They're crazy. I mean, these people are crazy. Unless you think that the Breitbart article we showed you earlier was out of the blue and, well, out of the red. And
it's so funny to me. It's so funny to me. Like it's like when somebody complains about the temperature in your house and they're like, well, now it's too cold.
That's hot. Does anybody
too much water?
Does anybody on the panel remember the time when Hollywood was generally revered by the entire United States of America, and maybe the entire world? Like when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s, people did shows, like you go to the theme parks and they do shows celebrating Hollywood and Hollywood. I mean, it's really weird. I don't know when exactly the turn happened, but Hollywood now, Los Angeles now, it's like they want the entire world to hate them by the decisions that they make. And it's just very, very strange to me. I don't know who took over. I don't know when it exactly happened. I just remember a time when there was no real politics and everybody just thought, hey, entertainment, yay, great. And it's just so different now. But it's just, I don't know, it just blows my mind the change that we've seen and how bizarre it is. And Lorena lived out there, so she knows. And
let me toss this to you, guys. Let me toss this to you. I just want people need to understand the magnitude of how dumb the California politicians are acting. And we're not here to get political. We're here to say this is going to devastate the entire California economy. And maybe this was the inevitable conclusion to their collusion with stupidity. But listen, here's the number, okay? The wildfires thus far in Los Angeles, have done between 135 to $150 billion in damage. Okay? Now, California, the saviors that they are, they've come in and given $2 billion. I don't know if you all know how close $2 billion is to $150 billion, but it ain't close. They need the American taxpayers at large to come in to rescue them because they made bad decisions like, hey, we don't have water. Okay, so $148 billion is what they need. And they're going to fight President Trump instead. And they're going to complain that the water, like he's releasing the water too fast. It's staying in the canals, just like the Army of engineers said it would, but the water's coming too fast. And there's a 0.5% chance that it might spill over and we'll count that as flooding. Like this is, and as a result, so when we say that entertainment may just flat out leave California, they're $148 billion in the hole, and they're fighting the guy who could give it to them. I don't see how Los Angeles and California could become flat out insolvent at this rate. This is financial, I can't say the S word, but it's financial S word.
It is, and another thing to keep in mind, because it's very easy to listen to all the loudmouth celebrities. There are people who, just working class people, or hairdressers, drivers, gaffers, craft services, people with businesses near these studios, that if LA goes under, they lose their livelihood.
Yes. But they're not going to stop. That's what's amazing, Lorena. Like, can you not play nice with Orange Man for 2 months until FEMA says, we're going to give you $100 billion? Like, can you not just put aside your idiocy for 2 months?
No, because LA thinks, or Hollywood thinks, they know better than you idiots over there in flyover country. The only thing that matters to them is them in their own little bubble and what they need in order to keep running. I mean, to hell with people, in flyover country, and even worse, to heck with people who live in that area. It really is an extremely warped way of thinking.
TC,
and even crazier when you see it in person and you live there and you see this stuff. It's insane.
TC has this exactly right. It says like the auto industry in Detroit, because it can never go under. It's like the shareholders and the executives at Sears, right? Before Amazon launched, because Sears, they're the biggest, they can never go under.
Right.
I can keep naming these things that were too big to ever fail, right? And yet when they do, well, everybody could see it coming. California, we can all see it coming. Entertainment industry, when you are basically based in the Peach State, we all could see it coming. It's just too bad the politicians in the Golden State are ignorant of what we all can clearly see coming down the tracks. And it is time to put a bow on it, for this one, folks, is a gift to everybody who wants to know exactly what's going on in the entertainment industry. And we are so joyful that you were there to receive it. We hope that you had a great time. An attitude of gratitude on this channel every single time you decide to spend time with us. As we get ready to say goodbye, we only ask a few simple things. Click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, and stick it to those algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, so waste not yours. And folks, as you get ready to head out that door, do you have a place on social media that you love to share this sort of thing? Hey, you can make this YouTube video sing by putting it out there for your friends, your family, and for those weirdos who just won't leave you alone. Folks, until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.